Hello and welcome to Friday's programme.
Your headlines tonight. 6 months after Storm Goretti battered the West Country, the Met Office predicts that next winter could be worse. We get reaction from people in Cornwall.
Strong weather conditions and then extreme drought affects isolated villages like this one. When trees fall, you can be cut off for days.
We're also expecting next summer to be even hotter, but the Honeycott estate might have a few ideas for protecting nature. Also in the programme.
The squawk of the town ahead of the Seagull Festival, how a champion impersonator was inspired on a trip to Devon.
And I'm at Dorset's famous Sunflower Trail in Dorchester as these plants look to hang on for a few more weeks of summer.
A very good evening and welcome to the programme. Now, we're being told to prepare for more storms and rain this winter due to what's being called an unprecedented El Nino event by weather forecasters.
6 months after Storm Goretti battered the West Country and Cornwall in particular, the Met Office predicts that next winter could be even worse, possibly the worst for more than 100 years. Charlotte Gay reports.
We call it extreme weather because it's supposed to be unusual, but this year we've experienced the hottest of summer days and the stormiest of winter nights. There's always been this naturally occurring weather pattern called El Nino, which globally brings droughts to some places and heavy rain to others. And yet our Met Office says this coming year is like no other.
I have never seen a forecast that looks like this. The strength of the El Nino in our forecasts is already at very high levels, even at this early stage. It peaks in November, December, and by that stage, it looks very much like it's going to be a record event, the biggest in recent history, the biggest in living memory, and perhaps even the biggest for over a century.
For us, it means stormier weather starting in the not-too-distant autumn. This year, Cornwall took the biggest battering in years when Storm Goretti saw 99-mile-per-hour winds, uprooting trees and bringing down power lines. And that night, the village of Helford was cut off.
We're very isolated in many ways, and when trees fall, you can be cut off for days. And so in our case, not just we were cut off and couldn't get out, but all the communications went down.
A tree landed on John's own roof, and as parish councillor, it means the community emergency planning has got a lot more serious.
It took 4 weeks before the fibre optic was repaired, and older people rely on communications for their medical devices. Several people have, telemed communications with the hospital, monitoring their hearts and things. That was really important, and not to have communications for nearly 4 weeks was quite serious.
In Cornwall's great gardens, ancient trees came tumbling down, many at National Trust properties such as Trelisic and here at Glendurgan. This old oak tree used to be a protective windbreak in the valley, but it's still lying in situ 8 months on. Head gardener Adam says we need to find ways to adapt.
Resilience. We have to be much more resilient. We're very curious, us gardeners, so we're looking at what plants could be in the garden in the future, and obviously looking at the windbreak. That's a key area for the garden, having good windbreaks for us. So we obviously want to store more water, we want to use it much more wisely, which we do in the National Trust. And also we're just looking at how we can look after the soil more. Soil's really important, it's like a sponge, so if we improve the soil with good organic matter, hopefully that will conserve more moisture and look after our plants more.
With next summer due to be even hotter than records set this year, visitors have certainly noticed the extremes.
It has been quite shocking, I think, this summer. You can definitely tell, I think the ground's, it's struggling. It's struggling. We went to the kids' school field and it is literally just brown.
We're just not designed to accommodate it. The industry that I've worked in was care homes, and it was unbearable inside the apartments. It was 40 degrees. And that was with the reflective sheens on all the windows, external windows.
Building in resilience is what we need to do. and heeding the warnings of these extremes, which are becoming altogether too normal. Charlotte Gay, ITV News, Helford.
Meanwhile, after weeks of hot, dry weather, a pioneering scheme in Somerset which uses beavers to create wetlands has shown how it can help landscapes stay resilient to drought.
Yes, aerial shots of the National Trust's Honeycutt estate reveal how stretches of land near the river and the wetlands have remained green and lush despite the severe lack of rain across the southwest. Bob Cruz visited the site earlier today to see how it's done.
This year has been a really good test for what they've been trying to achieve here at Honeycutt. We had that really wet, stormy winter when this wetland was holding lots of water and helping to prevent flooding downstream. And now with this really hot, dry summer, if you look at this area from the sky, you can see that it looks like a kind of oasis in the desert, this very green spot, completely surrounded by parched, yellowy brown landscape, because this has been holding water even in a drought. Ben, you've been managing this project for a while. How pleased are you with what you've been able to achieve here?
I'm super pleased, and it's definitely a team effort, and it's working with our local farming community as well. But the wetland that you can see here today is testament to the approach of working with nature and putting that at the core of what we're doing.
It's really stayed so wet here, even with this amazingly dry summer we've had.
Yes, yeah, it has. I mean, you can see the wildlife in here. You've got the swans loving life, you've got the dragonflies feeding. It's obviously wet, it's lush, it's full of life, it's great for the wildlife, but it's great for providing resilience in the landscape for local communities as well.
And we saw you release a new family of beavers here in February, wasn't it? How have they helped to contribute to what's been going on here?
So the beavers are our own ecosystem engineers, so they're helping us to create and maintain the wetland across the estate. They're creating areas of deeper water that you can see behind me in the river, and they're reconnecting floodplains and creating these extensive areas of wetland that you can see behind you, and that's super important for wildlife. This is a refuge for fish and other aquatic species, but also for local communities in creating that spongescape in the landscape and helping to mitigate the impacts of the drought that we're seeing.
And this is okay alongside farming that happens here too?
Yeah, it's not farming or conservation in this instance. You know, we're working with our tenant farmers to graze these wetlands. The cows in there are loving it, they're loving life. We've just had the first meat back from those livestock. It looks incredible. So it really can be a win-win if you think about it in the right way.
We're told that we're going to need to get used to these extremes of weather in future, the milder, wetter winters, the hotter, drier summers. What they're hoping is that other landowners might be able to learn from what's been achieved here, and perhaps the government could be encouraged to invest more in these kind of schemes in future. Bob Cruz, ITV News on the Honeycutt estate near Minehead.
I think that's the kind of issue that we're going to be discussing for some time to come, really,
Sounds
isn't
like
it?
doesn't it?
And we'll watch it for you also. Now, they're often the first at the scene of a car crash, a mountaineering accident or a heart attack. Air ambulances, of course, they save lives by treating patients on the ground or in the sky and taking them to specialist hospitals.
But a new report by Air Ambulances UK exposes how many hospital helipads are not fit for purpose, meaning helicopters have to land off-site, wasting crucial time when every second counts. Hannah Ludlow has the story.
I was walking home with my family and a motorcyclist lost control of the bike, mounted the curb and took my feet from under me from behind, so I fell backwards and fractured my skull.
When Claire Clark suffered life-changing injuries in 2014, it was an air ambulance that was first on the scene.
They saved my life because of how they were able to treat me on the pavement and then get me at speed to a surgeon who was able to then perform surgery on my skull to relieve the pressure.
Without an air ambulance, Claire might not be telling her story today. But a new report suggests other patients are not getting the same care. Air Ambulances UK has assessed hospital helipad access across major trauma centres and specialist hospitals. Each hospital helipad has been given a red, amber or green rating based on its ability to provide 24/7 access. Red means there are serious access issues, including hospitals with no helipad or severely limited on-site access. Amber means limited access is available, but improvements are needed to meet operational requirements. Green means the hospital has a fully operational helipad with 24/7 access that meets Civil Aviation Authority safety guidance. In our region, Derriford Hospital in Plymouth and the Royal Devon and Exeter Hospital have been rated green. North Devon District Hospital, the Royal Cornwall Hospital in Truro and Torbay Hospital have been rated amber.
These are time-critical patients. Our teams treat them, stabilise them as much as they can, but they really need to be in the major trauma centre. If there's any delay in getting that patient to the major trauma centre, then the probability or likelihood of them not surviving increases.
A petition by Air Ambulances UK is calling on the government to ensure all hospital helipads have 24/7 access.
We're wanting multiple government departments to play a part in that, to build it into NHS standards and protocols, but also working hand in hand with the Civil Aviation Authority so that there's regulatory alignment with those protocols, so that the provision of hospital helipads are absolutely going to happen with the hospital network that we have currently, but also any new hospitals or major trauma centres in the future.
The government told ITV News it's making significant investments into the NHS estate to support safe and reliable helicopter access where appropriate for patients requiring urgent specialist care. For Claire, an air ambulance meant a second chance. But with the charity undertaking an average of 148 life-saving missions every day, it's hoped making hospital helipads a priority will give everyone the same chance. Hannah Ludlow, ITV News.
Now you're watching ITV News here in the West Country tonight. You're with Alex and Ellie.
You certainly are. We're taking you into the weekend. Thanks for joining us this Friday evening. To all our regular viewers and perhaps a few new ones as well. Still ahead before 6:30, Nick is in Dorchester.
Yes, and I'm surrounded by a sea of sunflowers here, and they're just hanging on to try and catch the last bit of the day's sunshine. You can find a bit more about this place in a few minutes' time.
And after a few showers around today, the weekend is looking settled with high pressure pretty much plonked on top of us. What does that mean for the days ahead? Forecast on its way.
Right, I am aware that there is a giant praying mantis behind me, and that's because wildlife experts have described the discovery of praying mantises in Cornwall as remarkable.
Yeah, 10 of the insects were found in a school building in Truro. Cornwall Wildlife Trust says it could be the first recorded evidence of the insects breeding in the county. Kathy Wardle has more.
For father and son, Ollie and David, the sight of 10 freshly hatched praying mantis nymphs or babies in their home was a rather surprising discovery.
I was just sat at my dinner table. I had my laptop open doing some work. I look away for a second and I turn around and then I see a tiny little insect walking across my keyboard, and I looked at it for a good few seconds because I didn't understand. Well, I've never seen one of them before. And then I looked over at a chair next to me and I saw another, and then looked over at the wall, saw some more. So then I went in, told my dad, see if he knew what they might be. Looked it up, and then sure enough, it was a mantis nymph.
The pair both live and work on site at Truro School, and the find was made in their living quarters.
Clearly the eggs had hatched close by to our property, and it seemed as though they'd come in through the window. So it was very, very unusual, but a very exciting discovery, and I'm sure our biology department at Truro School will be excited to look into this as well.
European praying mantis have breeding populations on the Isle of Wight and Channel Islands, but haven't been recorded breeding on the UK mainland. Laura Fox is from Cornwall Wildlife Trust's Environmental Records Centre, which records finds like this.
So this record is particularly interesting because it provides the most compelling evidence yet that we have European praying mantis breeding in the UK. There have been the odd one or two nymphs recorded last year, but we've got lots of nymphs here, very young nymphs, which indicate that they must have hatched very close by.
Experts say the find suggests the insects may be moving north due to rising temperatures, so they could become a more common sight. Kathy Wardle, ITV News, Truro.
Wow, it's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, we can't believe they even spotted it in the first place.
They did well, didn't they?
Yeah, just a bit of moving fluff.
Now it's time for the sport as Plymouth Argyle and Exeter City hope for their first league wins of the season.
Powering local sport in the community. Octopus Energy sponsors ITV Regional Sports Report.
And Ross has joined us in the studio, so you definitely know it's Friday. Ross, not a great start to the season for our teams, but chance to kick things off tomorrow?
Yeah, improve things tomorrow. That's what you could say, isn't
it?
Yeah, definitely not a very good start. We're going to start with Argyle, though. They obviously began their League One campaign with a home defeat last weekend, didn't they? The Pilgrims went down 3-1 against Stockport at home park to immediately end any early season optimism. Tom Cleverley's side are hoping to challenge for promotion after just missing out on the playoffs in May. Tomorrow, they travel to Wickham.
So yeah, we've got a real good environment in terms of competition for places, hard work out on the training pitch, hard work out there when you see us on a Saturday afternoon. And yeah, no one gets complacent within that. So the players are very aware what they need to do to get in one of my teams. And we've shown that for a long time now. Unfortunately, in a really important game last weekend, we didn't show it enough.
It's a group that aren't just satisfied with just being there. It's a group that wants to push and try and achieve things. So that kind of helps us, I feel. And yeah, myself included, I'm trying to get that more in my game as well, trying to really speak and really encourage the boys. And yeah, I feel like that's helping us a lot.
Yeah, it's a funny one, Argyle, actually. Had a lot of turnover this summer, a lot of players coming and going, and that often does happen when, you know, a team drops down from the Championship to League One and then they're trying to rebuild a little bit. It's that first season, they're really trying to get back up, and then the second season can be a bit trickier. They lost Laurent Talai. They did sign Will Evans, though, and fans are going to be hoping he can hit the ground running. He's sort of the big money striker, so if he can replace some of the goals, they obviously will stand a much better chance heading into the rest of this season.
Excitement ahead, hopefully.
And Ross, not much for Exeter to shout about either, really.
No, not from the weekend, no. Bit more positivity over this weekend, hopefully. But yeah, relegated at the end of the last season to League Two. It was opening day defeat for the Grecians as well. They went down 1-0 at Grimsby. Admittedly, though, those opponents are among the favourites for promotion this season. Tomorrow, City return home to St James Park to take on Accrington Stanley. And obviously with that as well, they have also, you know, got big question marks over their striker. We're talking about Laurent Talai leaving Argyle. The big news with Exeter City is if they can keep hold of Jaden Wareham. Fans, I'm sure, are going to be hoping that they can, because he scored a bag full of goals last year in League One. There is a lot of speculation about him at the moment, and actually a lot of people wondering whether he could make the move down to Plymouth Argyle. It's happened before. Hopefully it doesn't for Grecians fans. Anyway, let's take a look at the fixtures, shall we? Argyle are on the road at Wickham, and City at home to Accrington. And in the National League, Yeovil, they'll be looking for a first win of the season. There they are there when they host Gateshead in National League South. Torquay United and Truro City are both playing away from home.
You are positively fizzing with excitement.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Yeah. We'll see you on Monday.
Yeah.
Now, a reminder, the ITV News continues after us with the national and international stories at 6:30. Here's Charlene White.
Coming up, Prince Harry and 6 others are ordered to pay nearly £10 million in legal fees to the publishers of the Daily Mail after losing their High Court battle. Why we should be set up for a stormy autumn due to an unprecedented El Niño weather event. And Championship winners Coventry City make their Premier League return at the home of the champions. So join us for those stories and more from 6:30.
Now, this is a delight and so cute, isn't it? It's a big weekend in Somerset, so they've got the annual Seagull Festival, or Gull, if you're going to be pedantic. Now, they may pinch your ice cream and your chips, but you can't imagine a British seaside holiday without them.
Yeah, and a big and very noisy part of tomorrow's celebration is the Seagull squawking competition. Now, we were lucky enough to meet 2 champion squawkers earlier, Cooper and Shelby Wallace, along with their mum, Lauren. Now, Cooper is known as Seagull Boy, boy, and he's even a former European squawking champion. That is a thing, apparently. And we started by asking Cooper how on earth this all began.
Well, it was about nearly 4 years ago now when we were at Woolacombe Beach in Devon, and I got bit by a seagull when my ham sandwich was stolen, and about half an hour later, I just decided to impersonate them.
And we need to hear it. We really need to hear this. So give us a bit of a blast of your best seagull.
My voice has gone a little bit low. I'll give my best one.
Amazing. So realistic.
It's so good. Then Shelby, you thought, that's a good idea, I'm going to have a go. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
So what happens at home? Does it just sound like there's birds nesting everywhere?
Basically, so I started doing the noise as well as Cooper, and when Cooper started and we got home from Woolacombe, and we did it quite a lot for a few weeks, and then seagulls we just could hear them all around, and then our mum and dad were like, "Is that you or is that a seagull?"
And they couldn't tell
the difference.
anymore.
No.
Shelby, will you do yours?
Yeah.
There were going to be dogs around the West Country going, oh, hello.
I mean, at this point, I've got to bring in Mum Lauren.
Hello.
We're about 4 weeks into the summer holidays, aren't we? You've got 2 children here, both doing these absolutely accurate seagull impressions. You must have a very noisy house.
Yeah, we have very patient neighbours. Yeah, lots and lots of different noises. Cooper also does a trumpet noise, so we're a noisy household.
But you kind of imagined it was ever going to go this meteoric, because actually you've been all over the place with this.
We've been everywhere, yeah. When it started, it was a bit of an annoyance from Cooper, and it was be quiet, Cooper, stop it, Cooper, and it was almost a habit. Then we found out about the competition in Europe, so then it was encouraging him to practice and keep him going, and went off to the first competition. And before we'd got back to Dover on the ferry, we'd got interviews lined up for the next 3 weeks.
And these are interviews all over the world, aren't they?
All over the world, yeah. We've done a programme in Australia, New Zealand. He's been on the news in Chicago. We've been up to Glasgow. We went to Hamburg in Germany for a TV show out there where Cooper was really fortunate and won €1,000 because they couldn't guess why he was famous. We've been everywhere. We've been on the Devon radio, the Devon News. We've been everywhere.
It is just so accurate. It's brilliant. Now, tomorrow in Weston, neither of you are competing, are you? So, Cooper, tell us what you're doing.
So I'm the head judge in Weston-super-Mare's very own seagull competition.
You know everything about gulls, don't you?
Yeah.
Give us a tip.
Like if seagulls want to, like if seagulls look at you and say, "I want to steal your chips," and you're just thinking that they're going to say that, then you might want to sit next to a wall so that they can't swoop into you, or give them eye contact so that they're like, "Oh no, I wasn't going to steal your chips now. You're looking at me."
Those are really good tips.
And I've never interviewed 2 seagulls before.
Never.
So, I mean, this is a first for us as well.
I'm just going to ask, before we go, Cooper, you're head judge, what are you going to be looking for tomorrow?
I'm looking for the most realistic types of seagull screeches, quite high ones. I'm thinking of volume, quite loud, and kind of a bit of some acting. And I'd be quite impressed if there was a few costumes this year.
Oh, lots to think about.
I think that means Ellie might be turning up in Westons tomorrow.
I've been taking some notes,
feathers on.
perfecting my costume. Oh, that was quite good. That was really good.
Good luck tomorrow. Good luck, Mum.
Thank you.
So cute.
They were amazing. Shelby and Cooper were amazing. But I've got to say, Alex, you were pretty good too. Next year, I'm going to get you a costume. We're going to enter you next year.
It was like karaoke seagull impression, wasn't it? I loved it so much.
Watch this space. Now, if you're a fan of sunflowers, you're going to like this next story because a Dorset farmer has created a rather wonderful sunflower trail.
Yeah, more than that. It's almost 1 million sunflowers that he's planted at the attraction near Dorchester, and it raises money for a very good cause. Nick Smith is live there for us tonight. Nick, just gorgeous.
It is. You join me in this sea of yellow cascading all around me, and it was 900,000 sunflower seeds which were planted to create this spectacle of around 12 acres just south of Dorchester. It's a real haven as well for insects and bees and pollinators. You can hear them buzzing around all around me. Well, I'm joined by Hazel Hoskin from Maiden Castle Farm, who obviously helped plant this sunflower trail here. It's now closed to the public, but how has it been over the few weeks of the summer?
Well, the sunflowers, as their name would explain, have absolutely enjoyed the sunshine and thrived on it, to be honest. So, yeah, we've been really lucky with the numbers that we've had through the gate, and also the amazing money that we're hoping to raise for the charity.
I mean, you mentioned it's a very good cause as well. So what are you raising money for the public who come here and pay for the tickets?
So the public will help raise money towards the Dorset County Hospital Emergency and Critical Care Unit. Bit of a mouthful, but basically it's the new A&E department at the Dorset County Hospital. So something that every one of us will use at some point.
Tell me a bit about sunflowers as well, because people might not know that there are hundreds of different varieties. So talk me through about a few of the ones you've got here.
So I've got a complete mix here of what we've got at the Sunflower Trail. The main one, which is the Sea of Yellow, as you explained before, is an agricultural variety called E.S. Bella. And then we've got other colours that go from purples, reds, oranges. There's even whites and blacks that you can get as well. And they're more garden varieties that you can get. So we've put a few of them in for a bit of pop of colour.
Now tell me a bit about their life cycle as well, because we're just sort of coming towards the end of it now after they've had weeks and weeks of really hot sunny weather.
Absolutely. So they from the moment they were sown back in May, we reckon they've had in total about 1 inch of rain, which isn't a lot really for a plant. But now they will be coming to the maturity. So all the individual flowers that are on the inside will get pollinated by the bees, and then they will start to grow seeds. And when those seeds mature, then that gives us the opportunity to either harvest them or leave them for the birds to eat themselves.
Well, Hazel, thank you so much for joining me, and best of luck next year when you get planting as well for next year's trail. And I guess as these flowers do start to mature and end their life cycle, I guess it's a sign that the end of summer is fast approaching us too.
Nick Smith, thank you very much.
Well, let's see if James Wright agrees. He has the forecast for us now.
Ancient sites will clear. Bring in local dishes in the afternoon. TUI sponsors ITV West Country Weather.
Out there, good evening. Apart from a couple of showers knocking around, not a bad end to the week. In fact, the weekend ahead, pretty settled. Lots of sunshine around and hopefully getting a little bit warmer. Not too warm, certainly no heat wave. Now, we do have a few showers just nearby. They'll just drift through during the evening and overnight. Then high pressure starts to build, squeezes out the shower, squeezes out a lot of the clouds too. But as that high moves away, this little feature, we talked about it yesterday, looks like it could be quite a potent affair, particularly into Tuesday and Wednesday. We're looking at some pretty heavy, showery, thundery rain. Back to this evening and overnight, there are your showers drifting about. On the whole, they're easing off as the sun goes down. Plenty of clear spells and actually temperatures on the cool side. Rural spots getting down into mid to high single digits. Might pick up a little bit of mist in one or two spots. If any forms, it will burn back nice and quickly tomorrow. And then on the whole, it's a nice sunny day. You can still see a few isolated showers around and about, and I think we could see a little line of them developing across the tip of Cornwall there. Temperatures, lighter breezes for many, so we'll actually feel a little bit warmer, topping out at 20 or 21 Celsius. That's 70 in Fahrenheit. As we then go through the rest of the weekend, we move around to a bit more of a northeasterly, so should help with temperatures a little bit. 22 Celsius, lots of sunshine around. Bit more fair weather cloud on Monday, then thicker cloud ahead of that little feature to the south. Temperatures getting up to around 22 Celsius, might feel a little bit breezy into next week.
TUI sponsors ITV West Country Weather.
Thank you very much, James. It's goodbye from the two of us. I'm off to find your seagull costume for next year. You're off to practice your seagull squawking, aren't you?
I absolutely guarantee everybody out there must have had a go.
Yeah.
There must have been the sound of it
Send
across
us your
the
best impression, see if you can beat Alex. And I will be back with the late news at 11:30.
But now the ITV News continues with Charlene White. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.